two, one. We're kind of live.
Oh god, you fucked me.
Consistency, my boy. We need consistency, Luke.
There's a muscle memory like in my brain that requires the fucking countdown in order
Are
to
you
do
the
the
autistic
intro.
one, or is it Luke? I don't know. I heard the
don't
breath.
know
Like you have
anymore.
a timing thing.
It just totally threw me off. Like I can't do it without the fucking countdown.
You won live. Go.
All right. Give me a second here. I need to recompose myself. That was beautiful. Three, two, one. We're live.
Hey, welcome back to the Blue Collar Off-Road Podcast, episode 96. I'm Graham. I'm here with Luke, Richie, Cody, and myself. Fuck, whatever. We don't have a guest this week. It's just the four of us. There's been a couple things, or we've had a few things going on. I've had a few things going on. Cody, I don't think you said you had much going on, and now we're just gonna play the blame game here and see who's been slacking and who hasn't been slacking. Richie, did you do anything this week or last week?
Found out that I really should fix my steering wheel being off. That's it.
Why?
Yeah, why? That seems like an odd thing to, like...
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
Oh, it's fucking like almost upside down, and Luke told me that's bad.
Yeah, that you don't have steering a lot in one direction, probably.
Yeah, it's also not particularly good for the bearings to receive like tons of road hits like that. I mean, it's not their normal position where they've been getting smacked around. I guess it really doesn't matter that much, but it's not really great for anything.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It's been like that for about a year, and I never really gave it much thought. And then I sent a Snapchat showing it to Luke, and he proceeded to educate me on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not hard to fix it either, though. Like, it's just, because the drag link is the incorrect length, your steering box is off, so you're losing a lot of throw to one side compared to the other.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even with my wheel, like, partially off, I noticed the difference. I've got way more, and not way more, but I have a noticeable amount more steering to my passenger than I do to the driver, just because I haven't straightened it out in a while. And my tie rod's a noodle right now.
Yeah,
So, Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Richie.
track bar. That's when it happened.
Oh, you probably just got to adjust the track bar a little then. Make sure your axle's centered.
No, it was we put in the track bar and then centered the axle, and then my steering was off a little bit, and I never fixed it.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. I've got a weird one for you.
Big deal.
Yeah, but still fix it, you bitch.
I will this weekend.
Okay, cool. So this one's weird. When my Jeep's in two-wheel drive, my steering wheel's straight. If I put it into four-wheel drive, my steering wheel gets like about a quarter of a turn to the right. I don't quite understand it.
I'm sure there's an answer, but I promise you, I'm not the one to answer it. Just throwing it out
I
there.
don't understand how that's possible. Your steering's not changing, just your drive selection is.
The only thing I'm thinking is maybe just with how clapped out some of the joints are, it's putting a lot more force into the steering wheel and it's moving it a little. I don't know.
All I can think of is like weird, like you're saying, maybe joints. But you've got all Heims, right?
Nope. Got tie rod ends still.
No, I mean on your links and stuff.
In the front, yeah. But I was talking about steering joints, like
I was just thinking all axle joints, right? Because if you have anything messed up on that, it could. I don't think it would be enough to be noticeable, but that could change your wheel position to some extent. Right? If your axle was rolling, I would think that would change the length of things.
Yeah.
Which might have I don't know. That's really reaching. The more I say it out loud, the less sense it makes. But I'm sure there's like something there.
don't know. I'll figure it out another time. Full hydro is the way forward for me at this point anyway.
Hmm. Full hydro and a suckdown winch. Fix up those geometries.
Which, by the way, Sam, my guy, when you say that you're available, don't plan to do it the day before you get home. Or the day after you get home. Tis, tis, tis.
Oh, was he supposed to come on today?
Oh, he was
That was-
supposed to come on today. What the fuck?
That was the original plan, but he ended up sticking around a little bit longer, I believe it was, and it was kind of one of those loosely discussed things where we were both drinking at Roush.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, we'll trap him down at some point. He's got to atone for his sins of, sucking, among other things. Well,
We talk a lot about stuff that just out of context, it really sounds not safe.
that's the whole point. That's like why the suckdown winch thing is really funny right now.
Well, it's like every once in a while I'm playing the podcast episodes in the house while I'm doing stuff, my mom will walk by and it's always at the worst fucking time. And she's, what are you guys talking about? I thought it was off-road stuff. I'm like, it is.
Sometimes.
Believe it or not, it's related.
Jesus.
That's funny.
Yeah. Out of context, some of our stuff can be fun. Before I go on and talk about my cool stuff, or maybe not cool stuff, but the stuff I've been doing, I'm on the last triple IPA that I got from USPS. Now, I wasn't sure if I had told this story before. I think I posted something on my Instagram story when I took a picture of the beer. It's a green looking can. So I remember I was complaining probably a few episodes back about not getting some Ruffstuff parts, and they couldn't find them. I'd called USPS a couple times, or called Ruffstuff, called USPS trying to find these things. I ordered a bunch of Heims for the Green Buggy, and they just never showed up. I mean, the tracking info was just doing nothing. It was saying it was still in California, and there was no progress. Well, I ended up 2 weeks later from when they first when I first bought them, with a USPS box full of Heims, with a tracking label or a address that was clearly just written by somebody at the post office and taped onto this box full of all the pieces. All the pieces were in there, but there was no Ruffstuff box, which I found kind of surprising because Ruffstuff is pretty good about packing their shit. I've never had an issue with anything I've ever bought from them previously. So, that I got my parts, didn't think anything of it, but a week later, the tracking for the Ruffstuff pinged saying that something had delivered, which didn't make any sense because I already had my stuff. So I go and I get this box, and it's all taped up. This is the Ruffstuff box. Upon more investigation on the box, it had ripped and somebody had retaped it. But I open it up, and it's got some of the Ruffstuff packaging, and it's just a 4-pack of IPAs. Just totally out of left field. Sealed.
And you
beat to
fucking
shit.
drank them.
Yeah, they're sealed. It's fucking
Graham.
sealed.
Graham, I don't care.
They're
if
fucking good.
Somebody sends you a fucking Bible that has sealed sugar in it. You don't snort the sugar, Graham. Holy crap. The fact that you're still alive surprises the shit out of me. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, listen, I
God
figured
damn.
it was just a hey, we're sorry. Here's some confiscated beers from some asshole who tried to ship it. Like, I don't know. I have no idea how it happened. Initially, I was like, did Ruffstuff just send me another package with beer in it? Like, but I don't think it was. I think it was this box just got filled with something at the USPS store or post office, wherever the fuck it was when that happened. So that's the story of how I got free beer from a Ruffstuff package. That was kind of cool.
Also, I would have drank the beer.
Oh, I mean, looking at it, you don't see a lot of triple IPAs, and I'm not going to have many opportunities to drink a triple IPA from California over in Massachusetts. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, and it's gonna be real tough. I mean, it's not normal for you to get poisoned through the mail, but somehow there was a chance you could have still done it.
Yeah, well, I haven't been
You,
poisoned. I've drank in. This is the last one, so I would have died earlier, unless they only poisoned one. So I think I'm good. I think we're okay. But that's the last off-topic thing I have. Um, the green Jeep is currently we're back on a roll now. I had to take a break once we got back from Roush. I had to like kind of prep. I didn't no actually that's a total bold-faced lie. I did nothing between Roush and Fall Crawl. Absolutely nothing. My Jeep stayed on the trailer, on JB's trailer, in front of my parents' house, with my truck still attached. I literally just drove the J20 that week, and then I got Friday, went back to the truck, hopped in the truck, made sure the straps were still tight, turned it on, drove to Fall Crawl. Uh, so and that was a pretty good time. I wish I had done a little bit of work to my shit. I could have used that entire week to no, I don't know, because the green one would have been looking at me. I was just really burnt on the green one. I spent a lot of hours on that thing trying to get it sorted out for Roush, and then that just blew up in my face. And that doesn't happen that often. So when it happened, it was kind of it was a humbling moment. You just the fact that you can't necessarily always just because you say it can happen doesn't mean it is gonna happen, right? And it would seem stupid to say that, but generally, if you put your mind to something, you can get it at least done in some form. But there was no fucking way we were gonna have that thing ready in any form, in any possible measure, ready for Roush. Uh, it was close. Don't get me wrong, but the amount of corners we started cutting the last, I'm not even gonna say days because at this point we were counting in hours. Like 36 hours of working on that thing. Uh, the amount of corners I'm still unfucking some things that I had done, and me and Jacob had both done just to try to push it out the door a little faster, right? Like I've cut out all the tube except for one bar that I did like on the interior floor panel because it didn't look good. It wasn't I can do better. So that was all cut out, and it was just it's demotivating going back and unfucking your shit that you worked so hard to try to push to get it done, right? But I'm glad it didn't go because it wouldn't have been a pretty rig, and I think we did talk about that, but it still sits in my mind. I think for me mentally that was a huge change in my thought process on these things. I don't know how to describe it other than that, but it's definitely kind of shifted my priorities on some of these builds and things. So it'll be interesting to see how this loss affects me in the future. But um, that one's going good now. I think we've got all the parts sorted out. I just need to put some things together and put the time into it to get it done right.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it when it's done. And on the note of when you try and put your mind to getting something done and you think you can do it, a lot of the times you can, but what was it? The first year that I was going to go to Badlands with you guys and the 1-ton swap was going on, I hit a point where I was dealing with shock tower or with shock mounting problems. And because with where I had positioned the axle and the extra stretch plus the size of the thing, it just became one of those things where there was realistically like no way, you know, I had cut up factory shock mount and tried to mount those, and then when I went to flex test it with them tacked, they were like hitting the axle tube because the rear one, with how they were, and there was just no way that I was getting that rectified, even if I like cut them out and moved it in. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
knowing when to call it is unfortunately one of those things that just you have to accept sometimes.
And it wouldn't have
And
been as big of a blow, I don't think, if I had just called it. Like,
Nah, that's pussy shit though, and you're not a pussy.
yeah,
so, like,
you're
wouldn't
right.
have done
You're
it
right. But
because
5 in the
you-
morning seems a little fucking late to call it. I don't know. Like, was
Nah,
it
that's
worth
too
my?
early to call it because guess what? You could have slept on the 6-hour ride down, Graham. You could have slept for 8 hours when you were at Roush.
Listen
You
here,
coulda
I
did
didn't
it.
fucking sleep until we got to Roush, you fucker. I don't want to hear it. I still had to fix my shit. And on that note, my leaf springs, because I didn't have the time, or I didn't put the time aside to work on my shit, to actually properly fix the rear leaf spring issues that I've been having, my rear leaf shackle, they're not supposed to be shackles, they're now shackles now. I'll try to describe this as best I can. The
Now shackles
front
now.
leaf perch on a Cherokee is just a box that a bolt goes through. It's basically a bracket with the bolt that goes through to a nut insert on the side of the frame. They always rot out if you live in a rusty place, and they break and they're a pain in the ass. But sometimes they don't, or you get lucky, or you just cut the bottom out, put a bolt in or nut in, and call it a day. I had to move this back, so I built this bracket to extend it about 5.5 inches backwards, and I'd seen one other reputable source use this. I won't call them out. Theirs are still holding up. I don't know if I just built mine wrong. And they worked pretty well for like 3 trips, and then this fall crawl, just putzing around on blue trails, they were gone. Like, we're talking, it is now a shackle. I had welded it to the unibody where I could, or not to the. Maybe that's what I should have done. I should have welded it more to the unibody. I just welded it to the fucking original bracket. So now there's just a huge load on the original bracket, which is all sheet metal, not the intended purpose of this bracket whatsoever. And it ripped the whole thing up. My leaf spring is now, or that bracket is now sitting at a 45-degree angle with the bottom of the leaf sitting in my floor on the Cherokee, and it's just I'm gonna have to cut that all out to fix that and put a new bracket in, which I already have. I have all the pieces. I just need to do it. I just need to find the time to put it in the shop. But I have no fucking clue where that started from. That was because we were talking about me not having time to work on my shit. Yeah, so my shit's fucked. Not really. It would have been fucked anyways. I probably wouldn't have done it. But yeah, I didn't even have time to work on my shit, Cody. Like, 5 in the morning, had to be there at 8. We didn't end up leaving till 12 because of other problems that were out of other people's control, not mine. I was still under the assumption that I need to be there at 9, and I think I did show up by like 11. I think it took a couple hours to sleep because, driving and falling asleep is not a good thing with a trailer and a truck, right? Just not a good idea. Yeah, I only had time to do, and I didn't even do my brakes, right? My brakes were still fucked, and that's been something I've been trying to like fix and just have the time to, and it's not even that much work. It's like pulling the booster, pulling the master cylinder, and just unfucking it, like just put the new pieces in. And that's something I did in the parking lot at Roush. I did what the fuck did I do on my Jeep? Not a lot. It didn't get a lot, but it needed something. It needed
traction bar.
Yeah. My traction bar was completely off. Ripped right off the fucking axle.
Love it.
Yeah, and I think that's all of my rear suspension problems are because those leaf springs are like absolutely fucked. I'd never had issues with that before until I hack jobbed it to get to Tennessee, and then it's been falling apart since and ripping other parts off because it's not set up right at all. It's the true improper geometry. I probably need a suck down in the rear to keep it from falling apart. It'd probably help when it falls out and I can just drag it back under, right?
I have
Put
a
it right next to the
free
tank.
I have a free 2,500-pound winch that you can have. Suck down, baby.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just cut a hole in my floor. We'll just tack weld a D-ring to the top of the fucking axle. So then when it
Yup.
falls out, we can drag it back under. Right, we're not gonna end up.
Hell yeah.
It won't be a situation like like Brad, where his axle was like when his rear suspension fell out. If he had a suck down, wouldn't have happened.
Wouldn't have fucking happened, dude. See, that's what I'm talking about, boys.
Yeah, so your suck down winch is good for dragging your axle back under the rig when your rear suspension fails or front suspension, either one.
See, now we're making some sense.
Goddamn! Now every time I see a suck down winch, I'm gonna be like, he built in a safety measure in case his suspension rips out. Cool.
You're terrible. Graham. I want to just say that, for a little while now, you're just terrible. Great. I'm here for it.
You have a very interesting imagination, Graham. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's a help and a hindrance.
It's what we value you for.
Yeah. Jacob talks me off the ledge of a lot of stupid fucking ideas. It's pretty funny.
See, you need that though. In all honesty,
I
you
know.
need somebody that is willing to do that.
Oh yeah, he's called me out on so much shit, like, and the amount of stuff, like the floors when we did my Cherokee would be way different if he hadn't put some input in on how it should be done, and even like on the floors on Sean's Jeep. And I don't know if somebody has a proper or not. There's no proper way to do it, I guess, but like I want to hear people's methodologies for setting up seat mounts and building tubing in the floor of maybe any vehicle, but maybe if brownie points if it's for a Cherokee and you have like a tried and true method, because Cherokees suck to build floors for if you've never done it, or at least in the front compartment if you're using tube, because the drivetrain takes up a ton of fucking space, and you can either do. I've always liked the idea of being able to run tube from one side to the other, but you can't always do that, especially not with this doubler thing that Sean's got in there, and it sticks up really high, so the tube's got to sit forward, and it's just a mess. Like
My setup's not great, but what I did is I welded the seat mounts into the rocker panels and then into the tunnel, and then I just got a brace bar. So it's not perfect, but it's held in there, and I was able to get my seat a lot lower than yours or Curtis's is.
Yeah, I think the original seat mounts that were in this buggy that we had to cut out because they had already been hacked to shit by somebody who owned it prior or after the original guy Tyler had it. His seat mounts were actually pretty neat. It was like it was square stock of some kind that was cut into a triangle, and the point was on the frame rail, which he had slugged the frame rail with like 2x4. So it's already like there's an actual frame, quote unquote, to sort of go to that he attached these things to. And then the seat mounts were these. It wasn't angle iron. It was actually a fancy piece. It was probably a bracket for the seat mounts that he had originally. And that all just, you could probably bolt it into that. And that looked like it worked really well. But it wasn't going to work for what we had because the seats mount completely different with the sliders that he has, which I think we're going to try to put back in. We took them out because I wasn't sure there was going to be enough space. But we're redoing things, and I think I might be able to squeeze them in now, knowing what I know, and with the, having put the seat where it was going to be, now I know that I have a little more space than I thought I did. So, but either way, it sucks, right? I've got 2 vertical bars, which is just, I don't know. Personally, that's always been, I think that looks the best, is you can just have 2 bars that the seat rails can go on. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but just in my mind, that's always how I've wanted to do it, which is why my Jeep looks like the way it does, and why Sean's Jeep's going to look the way it does. It looks way better than the original pictures, if you've seen them, of the front seat mounts, which had this fucking, it was like a T. It was stupid. The new one's going to go across, mount to the sliders. Won't look obnoxious. It'll look nice. But yeah, I don't know. Even that's sitting a little higher than I would have liked, but we'll see once we get further along.
Makes sense though. Like that's one of those things where I think it's kind of hard to get right because it's A, personal, and B, something that you're going to end up deciding based off of a multitude of other factors that are literally going to be different for every single Jeep that gets built with it. Whether or not you have a doubler, whether or not you're angling the seat, whether or not you're tall or short, that all comes into play for getting the proper seat height. And then once you get your seat height figured out, you just build your mounts around that.
Yeah, it's tough because I wanted to keep it low enough that, right? I mean, ideally, roof clearance should be you're wearing a helmet, I believe, and then be able to have a fist above it, right?
Yes,
Just
Yeah,
roughly.
that ain't
normal amount.
happening for me.
No fucking way in a
Or-
Cherokee. With
Yeah,
with seats that aren't sunken into the or below what the drivetrain is going to allow you to put in for a bar. Like at that point, you're looking at seat mounts on each side versus doing anything over the top, which is fine. It's just, I don't know. The helmet stuff's been something I've been thinking about ever since we watched Colin do his flying shit. So, so I've been trying to like work around in my brain how the fuck I redo all my shit, but I don't want to do that, so I don't know how to lower it. It's a giant mess.
Just put the seat mount through the floor.
I've like you say that, but to unbolt my seat, I actually have to go underneath it for one of the bolts. It's already that far.
No. Just let it slowly rot out.
No,
It's fine.
then it's not functional because the seat's just sitting in a rot hole, which isn't what I want to do either.
It's fine.
Nah, but yeah. So that's that. It runs a lot better than it used to. It's the weirdest thing. Like we've changed a few things on it. I threw some O2 sensor or an O2 sensor at it. It only has one. And we put some new plugs on it. Or sorry, new. Yeah, no, we put new plugs on it. I don't know. I don't fucking change spark plugs. So that's just. Oh yeah, spark plugs were like this weird fucking dual sparky thing I've never seen in my life. We just changed them back to plain Jane copper plugs. The normal shit that Cherokees expect, not this fancy shit. And that was about it. Like, and it still doesn't run great, but there's nothing inherent. It doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it. It's just like the computer doesn't know what to fucking do. And it seems to actually run fine if you put a little bit of drivetrain load on it. So I wonder if there's like a computer thing with it not being happy because it's expecting the automatic, but it doesn't have it. I don't know.
So mine idles a little high. Mine, instead of idling at the normal like 700, will idle between 1,000 and 1,100 just randomly.
Huh. Okay.
And
Well,
it's
yours
done
is a
that
97, right?
Yeah, and it's done that since I did the manual swap. It's not been something that's got anything to do with my running problems. It's just always done that.
Huh. See, that's weird because mine's never done that. Mine's always run normally. I don't know if there's anything plug like ECU related that would cause it to run odd when you do the manual swap. I would think maybe there could be because some vehicles do have something in the ECU that makes it run differently for the different transmissions, but
So normally they'll idle a little bit higher, depending on the vehicle, especially for Cherokees, because the factory ECM for the automatic is constantly looking for the load of the torque converter.
mhm.
So to maintain the same idle that you would have with a manual, with the transmission just disengaged and everything free spinning, compared to a torque converter, it puts a very, very minuscule amount of load on the engine, and there's compensation built in for that.
I know my 98 with that was manual swapped. That would just randomly idle at like 1,200.
Yeah, mine idles like 11, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I have
don't
no
know.
say. I have a shitty automatic and always have. So I got no say, boys. I think it's
Yeah.
fucked. Chopped up. Time to get rid of it.
Because mine, like I said, mine's never had any issues. This one is weird because it's running rich, so we were thinking maybe it's just an injector or two that's stuck,
Yep.
which is still potentially a problem. But it doesn't. There's no issues really at all with it running. Like you can get on the throttle at any point in time, and once you get it into if you put a little bit of load on the engine, which is why I brought in the whole, maybe it's an ECM thing. When I was fucking with the transfer case, because if we haven't gone into the transfer case, it doesn't have the detents that are supposed to, that are
we
there
talked
to.
about that.
Okay, it doesn't have the detents to prevent you from being stupid and putting it in high range, low range, whatever. So I was fucking around with it, making sure you could still feel where all the shift points needed to be to put it not in one of those ranges, unless you were a real dumbass. And when I was doing that was when I actually got it to run okay and not stall for the first time. Every other time we run it, it stalled on its own. Like you couldn't get it to run. You'd be revving the thing to like $2,000, $3,000 higher, and it would never figure out that it could idle. It would always fall flat on its face. And this was after running it for probably multiple hours at that point over the course of the entire time we were building the thing. Just trying to get it to idle right. And what finally, maybe it was other stuff that we had done too, we'd fucked with things, but what really got it, or at least in my mind, what sorted it all out was just idling it back and forth, or barely above idling it, and just playing with the transfer case and putting load on it and making it move back and forth. And so I don't know if it's just the computer needs to fucking learn, or if there's a fueling issue or what, but it's perplexing.
Sounds like a pain in the balls.
It is. It really
Yeah.
is. Because it's clearly I don't know. Jacob's thinking it's a computer thing or a sensor issue, but the sensors seem to all be working, and like it idles fucking mint once you give it a little bit of load to do something so it doesn't stall. It's been getting better though. We've been parts cannoning a little bit and it seems to be working. No check engine lights. There's nothing like wrong with it. It also hasn't run in God knows how long. I don't know the last time the thing was ever driven. So it was sitting in what's his face's yard for at least a year or more, right? I don't know how long it was sitting, just doing nothing. So
The Dodge?
no.
What was sitting in the yard?
The Cherokee.
Jeep.
Your Cherokee was sitting for a long
No.
time?
The green
Oh,
one.
dude.
Where the fuck have you been? We're talking about
My
the green
brain
thing.
just exploded. All of a sudden, I was just like, huh? My apologies, dude. Okay, yeah, that makes way more sense now. Sorry.
Cody off on another fucking planet.
Dude, I honestly was.
Yeah, the green one.
Think about Richie's mom, you know? Oh, sorry, guys.
Oh,
She's a great lady. What do you want me to say, Richie? Goddamn.
well, just consider you the favorite out of the club.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, boys. Every once in a while, you just gotta.
Because Cody's a fucking kiss ass.
Yes,
You're ever wonder why there's a little brown stain on my nose? Sorry, no, genuinely though, I have no idea where my brain went. But anyways, keep going. So it was sitting for a while. It's a piece of shit. What happened?
That's really it. I mean, I don't want to continue talking about a shitty 92 motor that won't fucking run. It's getting there. It'll run by the time we're done with it, probably. And we'll.
What if you just loosen like one of the flex plate bolts so that way every once in a while it hits the clutch so there's like a little bit of a load?
Well, first off, there's no flex plate.
Oh, I don't know, whatever those things are.
Well,
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. It doesn't have those bolts, Cody. Those
Well,
don't
then there you
exist.
go. That's the problem. You need the bolts. That's the problem. Goddamn. I figured it out.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
just gotta try being stupid every once in a while and you'll be fucking mint.
Mm.
I don't know if that's how this works, but okay. So speaking of firing up the parts cannon, I fired the parts cannon up. We
All
got
right, what'd you
a
buy?
new cam position sensor and MAP sensor.
Nice.
because I don't know what's going on with it, but if you um push down on top of the manifold air pressure sensor where it's like all cracked and shit, it cleans up its idle. So
Wow.
something is fucked up in there. Like, I don't know if that's the whole problem I
Oh,
was
that's
having.
right. Yours doesn't run either.
Yeah.
You've got a similar problem. Yeah, huh. Not the
So
same, but
not the same at all. But yeah, so I grabbed a Bosch manifold, or I'm sorry, not Bosch, Delphi manifold air pressure sensor. That'll be here in like a couple days, and a cam position sensor because when I fucked with the plug on that too, like just trying to reconnect it and wiggling the plug around to see if it was um off, it definitely made a major difference in the sound of how the motor was running. So I'm wondering if there's like a broken wire or something in there, or I don't know what it is, but it's not happy, so I'm gonna fix it. Um, and those two parts were less than $100. And then I went out and met Justin Wright. Really, really fucking nice guy with a really cool Comanche. Uh, Fairly local to me, like 20 minutes down the road. And I picked up a transfer case for $175. Now, that's a little steep, but he went through the effort before I even grabbed it of cutting off the extra nub that's just on the 231s. You know, that piece that sticks out for no reason?
mm-hmm.
He cut that off, he pressure washed it, he drained it, he saved a small bit of the fluid, showed me that it had bright red fluid in there, and transfer case is in super solid shape. He made sure that all the studs were free in it and everything, and you know,
Sorry.
that was
hey,
obnoxiously
pop a
loud.
beer.
It was like I literally extended my arm as far as I could. I'm so sorry.
I actually thought that was Luke.
No, I'm sorry.
Usually
I
it doesn't
beer.
pick up noises unless you're near the mic, like, or unless it's like really loud too, right?
For some reason
So
my
that's-
crisp was off. So there's my answer. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, there you go. No crisp for you. Yeah, I don't have crisp either. I can't use it, so everybody hears every single fucking noise I make. The noise maker.
Enjoy, motherfuckers.
Hey, pop that beer, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
So, I had a coworker though who's into off-roading, and he's a nice guy, but he's more into side-by-sides and stuff like that. And,
Oh, so he's gay.
kind of. Yeah,
Rough life to live. Couldn't be me.
definitely not. But he was like, "Yeah, I've got a bunch of parts off of a '98 XJ," and I was like, "Oh, cool. Do you have a transfer case?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I got one." I was like, "How much you want?" And he goes, $500.
Oh,
I'll bring it to work.
$500.
I was like, just like I didn't know how to respond. It was at that level of like, dude, are you fucking serious? And I was like, I've never paid more than like $110 or $120 for one. And he's like, well, you aren't in New England where everything rots out anymore. You got to get used to paying the actual price for shit. And I was like, okay.
I don't think I've picked up transfer cases for like $20 or less or free. I've gotten free transfer cases. You're just
Yeah.
Yeah, like fucking so I made the Facebook post and Justin ended up commenting on it and like $175 for something that's cleaned, washed, all of the stuff that
Way
needs
too much
to come
money.
off of it is like off of it, and it's not a 2.5 hour drive to go and pick it up, is worth it to me.
How many miles?
120.
Not horrible.
No, the other one that I found was $125, but it was midway through Georgia. And that was the only other guy that responded quick enough for like my liking and the ability to go and get it. So he was cheaper than that, or by the time you factor in fuel, he was cheaper than the other guy, and it was all cleaned up. So I walk into work and I'm like talking with the other guy, and he goes, "You find that transfer case that you need? I still got it sitting there. I'll do you 400." I'm like, "Yeah." I gave him 125 bucks and a spare Dana 60 shaft, and we walked out the door. And he's like, "You did what?" And I'm like,
Not
"Yeah."
pay 105. Or, oh my god, 500.
Yeah, I'm not
Jesus.
paying 500 for that. Like, you
See,
can go
I'm
and
not the
fuck
only
yourself.
retarded one here today.
I know. We're all a little slow for some reason.
Well, I can't English. We've known that since like episode 40. Probably before that.
I just can't structure a sentence, apparently. I can't put the words in the right order.
Yeah, we're off today. Just a little bit. Not a
It
lot.
happens. It happens. No big deal.
It's like the most Mondayest Wednesday ever.
Really?
And I have an excuse. I went to the dentist today. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting that transfer case in and trying to throw some of the parts that I need to get in there in this next weekend when I'm not working. I'm working this weekend, so we should be good to go for a good evening. I'm hoping that it'll behave. You know, I'm pretty excited. I'm working with Bart to get my stub shafts ordered. He's been nothing but helpful. Got a killer price to my door on a full set of chromos. I just unfortunately can't swing it and make the trip.
Yeah.
So,
What, to Virginia?
yeah, to West Virginia. There's
Oh
no way
my
I'm
god.
dropping.
Sets up a run and it doesn't even fucking go.
What are you talking
He's
about?
going.
I
West
can't
Virginia?
buy O'Malley's.
Just do
can't
it.
buy-
Why not? You got a credit card, swipe that shit, boy.
No, I'm being a
Okay.
responsible adult. I'm gonna be putting
He's
the
probably
cost
gonna.
of the-
He's trying to buy a house. He's gonna pull the Colin excuse. He's been trying to buy a house for 5
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
years.
Mm, it's been a year.
Sorry,
down
Colin.
here.
He won't listen to this, but yeah.
Wait, what Graham really said was get fucked, actually. Like, that was his nice way. Yep.
But yeah, moving on from there. No, I'm just gonna throw 30 spline outer chromos in it and go wheeling. Like, I don't really care at this point, and I just want to.
How many stub shafts have you broken? One? Put a
One.
factory one in it. Who gives a fuck? Just run it again. You blow another one. Oh no, I've got spares. Just let me know. I'll bring them.
If you want to do that, then we'll do that. I just figured it made more sense to throw chromollies in there because I'm not
Oh,
gonna.
it does, but
price.
I mean, if you can't swing a chromoly shaft, just put a stalker in there.
I'm
You ran
talking a
those for
full
years.
set. I'm talking the full set. I can't afford to put the full set in. I can definitely afford to put stub shafts in.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
a chromoly stub shaft on a stock inner is just gonna mean certain death for the inner or the U-joint.
Nah, the hub will go.
Because
The
it's
hub will go.
like
Yeah,
it's
I
a
guess. I don't
35
know.
spline shaft versus a 30 spline chromoly outer. I'm just trying to make the outer a little bit stronger. I haven't had issues with the inner except for that one that's been abused for going on 4 years now. Like, I finished my 1-ton swap. Forget when I finished it. Maybe it's 3 years now. But that one, I've broken one inner and one outer. So, like, I was just gonna, fix the outers because I break them.
None. No, you don't break them non-top. You broke one. You broke one, right?
I guess you're right.
All he said was he breaks them. That's all, Graham.
Oh
It's
no,
okay.
you can
It's
break
okay.
them. You can break them. I know you can. But
Jesus.
I'm just saying, he's only broken one in the entire time he's owned the thing on 1-tons. He doesn't need to change it all. You don't need to That's like breaking, ripping a sidewall on a tire and be like, I need all new tires. Like, fuck these tires. Give me a whole new set of different brand tires. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Like, you don't need just replace it. And if it continues to happen, right? It's not like the stock ones are expensive. You can, like we were saying, you have some good buddies who can get you some spare. I'm swimming in 30 spline outers. I literally ask me for one, and I will give you two. So
Okay, well then, will you bring them down to Good Evening
I
along
will
with maybe?
100% bring them. I will bring you a full shaft ready to roll.
Okay, if you want to talk about that, we'll talk about that off the podcast.
Okay.
Um, in that case, I'll just slap it back together and take a or put a new U-joint in the good long side with the spare. I don't know. I figured it made sense to put in new U-joints, pull both of the outers out, put in the good spare outer, put in the good because the inner shafts on both sides right now are the originals and they're twisted.
Mhm.
The spare set that I used to use as my spares is in better shape, so I figured I would put the chromollies on them and just run it because both
Did you
sets
already buy the chromollies?
no.
Okay. I'm gonna say don't buy them. Uh, Fix what you have. Do you have stub shafts already?
Yeah, I've got a spare sub.
Okay. Put the spare
I just
stub
have
in,
one.
run it. I have a full set of axle shafts with U-joints. They're New England special U-joints, but that didn't stop the 50 from not blowing them up. So you'll be fine. I'll make sure they're not crusty. Even
Yeah,
then,
do
I
you have
ran a
any
crusty
spare
one and
60
it was
hitters?
fine. It didn't blow up. Like it didn't give a single fuck for the longest time. And then when it did start to give a fuck, it just cracked the cap, and I just swapped the U joint. I didn't let it blow up, and it was fine.
Yep.
So, and I blew the
I don't
ring and
know.
pinion before that anything else blew up. So you don't need to put a new U joint in it. Maybe bring a new U joint in case you have complications. I would say save your money, get the full chromoly shaft so you don't have to worry about it in the future. You don't need them right away. I'll give you a smoking deal on the shafts that I have, which is going to be like nothing. Like they're not doing me any good. I'm not going to use them, I don't think. So
I'll
I
bring
just
you a
have a set.
couple of I'll supply the beer for Good Evening then. How's
Perfect.
that?
Yeah. I'll bring the
Okay.
shafts. You bring the beer, and it'll be sounds like a party. Um, and then
You're in
problem solved. Crisis averted.
Well, there was no crisis. I can afford to put the chromoly stubs in. I just can't
Yeah,
afford
it
to.
just seems stupid though. Like if you're gonna go chromoly, just do a full shaft. Just save your money so you can get the full shaft. Because otherwise, you're just adding work later, right? You're gonna put a mismatched shaft in, and then eventually, at that point you probably wouldn't. You probably wouldn't buy the outer. But I would just that bugs me. Don't do that. Put a whole fucking
Fairly
chromoly
common.
shaft in.
I
It-
kind of want you to do that though, Luke, just to see how Graham reacts.
I mean,
Poorly.
it's
You'll
also
see, Richie. You're
fairly
gonna be there.
common. Um, I would not be the first person on the face of the planet running a 99 to 04 with a 35 spline factory inner and a 30 spline chromoly outer. The chromoly outer is still going to break before the 35 spline does.
Yeah, but that just bugs me on multiple levels. Like, why? Why would you do that to yourself?
Less likely to blow up the unit bearing. Um, just
See,
also slightly tougher than what
we
was
got, I
in
got,
there.
if you need a unit bearing, I got unit bearings. I actually gave you two of them, and I have four more. Do you want a unit bearing?
I will take spares.
They're not the greatest unit bearings, but they spin freely. They have they've been New Englandized, but that's it. They're mint.
Okay.
Those
But
are from
either
JB's
way,
axle and the old 50 and just all
I
sorts
thought
of stuff.
JB's was an 05 plus.
No, he had an 04 in the in both of his rigs actually, in the Cherokee and the JK, both 04s,
Yeah,
04
I'm
downs.
hoping he makes it to Good Evening. He said that he put in for the vacation time, so
Oh, if he put in for vacation, he's going. And I talked to him recently. He's going.
that'd be sweet.
Yeah,
Uh, I should probably get on making some more social media posts about it, but
yeah, doesn't matter to me.
yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Sam might be going, Sam might not be going. I'm hoping he goes, but even if it ends up just being a couple of us there, right now, from what I understand though, the whole park has been reserved.
Which
So,
awesome.
yeah, I know that we got one of the large cabins lined up, and it's just we started posting about it and then the park got sold out really quickly after. It's kind of cool if it ends up being roughly the size of Roush.
How big?
Or
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I have
Park
no fucking,
itself or just a turnout?
Turnout.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I have no idea
Yeah.
what the what to expect from that property. I'm excited.
Everyone I know speaks highly of it. I'm waiting to see, and I'm kind of excited to see. So we'll get there when we get there, I guess.
Yep. I'm still, I'm torn. Here, okay, now we're gonna talk about my bullshit before we go to good evening. First off, I've got to juggle between getting Sean's stuff done. At this point, I'm not rushing his stuff, but I do want to get it out the door, right? I know he wants it. I want it. I want to be done with it, just because, I want to move on to other projects. Nothing against that one. It's a fun one, but I've been working on it for a while. So I've got to fix my Jeep properly because the leaf springs are going through the floor, and the truck is doing good, but it's doing weird things, and I think it's electrical. But when a 47 RE does weird shit, you take it seriously. And it was doing weird shit when I drove it back from Field and Forest. And I haven't been nice to it. So I don't know how much I trust it. Now,
Double
being
check
said,
your grounds.
I know. And I had a snowman on the fucking positive terminal on the passenger side battery. So I cleaned both the terminals up. I probably should put new batteries in it because they're clearly fucked. And I need to check more grounds. I've cleaned a bunch of them up and added new ones where ones were supposed to be that weren't there anymore. But I need to clean a few more things up. I think that sorted out what it was doing. But I also have that 6-speed that is coming out. I need to get down to the yard more this week. Or it's probably not going to happen this week. It's been rainy like the past several days, so it just hasn't been worth it for me to go down and work in the rain. But I got to yank that. And then that's going in my truck sooner rather than later. I just don't know if I want to do that before good evening or after good evening. It's a crapshoot because it's yes, it's a manual transmission, but it's got 600,000 fucking miles on it. So I should take it apart and look at it and rebuild it. I would have loved to drive the truck. The truck cranks if you charge it, but it does not start. And there's no. I couldn't wait anymore to try to get the motor running before I ripped things apart. So now it doesn't run because it's getting ripped apart. So I don't know the state of the transmission because I never drove the truck on the road. I don't know anything. I don't know how the synchros are or anything. It's also a 2001, and I've been doing my homework here, which is the cutoff for when the synchros changed on those things. And this turned into Blue Collar Tow Rig podcast for a minute. I'm sorry. But the synchros changed between 2001, and they don't make the old synchros anymore. They only make the new ones. So even if I wanted to rebuild the thing quickly, which it's also it's a 6-speed, so it's the one that sucks to rebuild, that you need a bunch of special pullers and shit to do. And I've watched videos. I know what I fucking would need to do it. And I don't know if rebuilding it was what needed to happen. I don't have time to do it. But the other part of me is like, it has 600,000 miles on it. Maybe it's been rebuilt, and I can just put it in and run it. I don't know. What do I do there? What do I chance? And I should have brought this up earlier when we were talking about computers and manuals, but the ECM in my truck is not. It would need to be. It doesn't need to be flashed, but it benefits from being flashed for the auto or for the manual because it's set up for an auto right now. So of course it runs differently and does different things. I'm pretty sure the PCM between the 2000 and 2001s are a straight swap, even though it's different years and that's like technically a cutoff. It's weird. I think it should just plug in and work. We'll see.
Hopefully.
But then again, I'm riding by the seat of my pants with the fucking tow rig. Like, I don't know. I probably am better off just leaving the auto in, but I don't know. I don't like.
I mean, I would say leave the auto in simply because it literally drove to Tennessee and
Yes,
back
but then
no
I
problem.
towed 26,000 pounds, quote unquote, with it, and
Just
it
hear
was
me out.
fine.
Hear
I
me
don't
out.
know.
Hear me out. At least right now you're in tested waters. Yeah, the water sometimes is got little warm spots like somebody pissed in it, but you're able to swim in it. If you go and throw a brand new transmission and you're going to drive what 900
Brand
miles
new,
roughly,
brand new.
not brand, no, but I'm saying new to you, new to the
Yes.
truck, new to the whole scenario. 900 miles, not it can't be that far.
Is it
Tennessee's
900
that far. It's
miles?
probably
No.
like 600 something. It's
Yeah.
probably 600 something. I think that's a terrible idea. At least right now, that transmission works. Yeah, it's rough, but it works. Then you have all fucking winter, Graham, all winter. I'll say it again to make sure that this newer to you manual transmission works. Just say that's just my input, but you can poo poo it. You could also just rent a truck from like.
I'm not renting a truck. If
all
anything,
right, well,
my
I'm just
shit's
saying.
going on JB's trailer, and we'll figure it out. I don't want
Boom,
to do that.
simple.
but
Pay the motherfucker and see you later. Sayonara.
I want to drive my truck. I want to do my own shit. I don't want to rely on other people to tow my shit if I can help it.
If you need a little help, dude, just use a little help. No big deal.
Yeah,
It's all
that's
good.
what's the point of the fucking. Actually, what the fuck am I? Why am I even saying that? I have to borrow a trailer and a hitch. I don't even have a fucking hitch. I borrow Miguel's hitch every.
All right.
I can
Yeah,
take
when
the
you're
green goose deck,
hyperventilating-
whatever the fuck I want. Though I have the goose deck hitch. That's mine. I bought that one.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, all messed up. Yeah, I don't know. That's where I was leaning, but I don't love it, and I don't know. The 47 RE just gives me anxiety every time I think about it, and every time it does something weird, just because it is what it is. I'll be happy when I have that manual either rebuilt or I return it as a core and get something cool like a super stick and call it a day.
A super stick? What the fuck is that?
That's like the cool guy who rebuilds the transmissions.
The 42 REs or the autos?
No, the autos or the manuals.
So okay. So not the 42 RE?
Not the 47 REs. No,
47. Okay.
that would be
Sorry.
for the. I think he does G56s mostly, but I think they do NV 5600s too. Nobody likes doing NV 5600s. It's kind of a pain in the ass. It's honestly kind of similar to an AX15, but just way bigger, and with more gears, and with a really
Makes
obnoxious
sense.
shift fucking rail. It was like the way they wrap around the transmission is just obnoxious. Where in the AX15, they're all lined up, and they're in this like middle piece that comes out as well. I could do it. It's just the specialty tools are a pain in the ass. We have the press to do it too, and it's not rocket science. I know Colin was like, oh, you gotta have a 50-ton press and you gotta put the shaft on straight, or you have to press the shaft on straight. Listen, if you're pressing the shaft on wrong with the 50-ton press, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's not going on. Like,
No, the 50-ton press will make it go on.
no, it won't.
It's gonna move.
Apparently, I don't know.
Really?
I mean,
I feel like 50
when you're dealing
tons
with-
is a lot of pressure. But hey, what do I know?
It is. I think I mentioned it, but I'll bring it back up. The Tacoma week done with those fucking Burfield
Oh
shafts.
God.
35
Cheering
tons.
the snap.
35 tons shears a snap ring on those fucker things. It makes a cookie cutter press of the spline part, and it shoots out. It is the only way we could get those things apart, and it was terrifying. We literally would crank it to 30, and then you'd back way the fuck up and go to the side of this thing, and then just hammer on the lever until it popped, and then it would just shoot the shaft into the ground, and it destroyed the C-clip. Yeah, and you see videos of people
Okay.
taking those things apart in their fucking driveway with a piece of 2x4. By the way, look
Maybe
up.
it's just a skill issue.
Look up. No. Look up Burfield C-clip removal, and you'll watch like these dudes just taking their shafts in their driveways with a piece of 2x4 so they don't mess up the driveway, and just pounding on it, and the snap ring pops out. No fucking way. Absolutely no fucking way.
Literal video proof, Graham.
Literally, but it doesn't fucking work. You, I,
Or, hear
you know
me
how
out.
I literally, like, me and Jacob both basically blew our fucking arms out trying to slam this thing into the ground. There are marks in the concrete floor where we were slamming this thing, or with a piece of 2x2 square stock, trying to hit it the opposite direction too, like or no, from the right direction, trying to hammer the top of it down. That's what you do. You take a tube. I don't. It was an absolute nightmare. I don't even want to think about it.
Is this the guy that wants to now do different Toyo axles?
No.
Remember you asked me to ask somebody about Toyo axles?
Oh, no. That's a guy. That's a buddy of mine who's got a Samurai, and he wants to put
Oh.
Toyota axles in it. Did you ever hear back from that guy?
Cool things and like.
No,
link
I
it.
did not. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have any. He might just not be on Facebook at the moment.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let me know. He doesn't seem. My guy doesn't seem like he's super. He hasn't been bugging me about it, so I don't think it's any rush. But he does want to do bigger
Well, that's
axles
good.
on it, so I don't know. I
Yeah,
haven't
this
worked on
guy's
any
kind of a
Kiwis.
trail ninja, you know. So sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. It just kind of happens.
Yeah, we know how that
Yep.
goes. He's only there when it's convenient for him. And
I don't know if you guys,
silently leaves.
I don't know if you guys follow Ryan's buddy or not. They're the one that has the samurai, but it seems he's starting to do a few things with it.
Yeah, I know. He looked like he was prepping the other axles and had the other stuff apart. I was looking at that.
Well, that's quite
Some
exciting
cool
to see.
stuff every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Although apparently Ryan was telling him to to just use the stock axles, right, and just keep it simple. And I agree with that, but I also don't agree with that. I don't know. I'm on the fence. Like, I don't know what the stock axles on a Samurai would hold up to. I don't.
My 35's locked.
I think he has 37s.
RCV will warranty stock or the Samurai RCVs up to a 35.
Okay, so they're fucking tiny.
Yeah.
I think he's got 37s that he wants to put on it.
So yeah, tons is probably the answer, or at least
Toys.
Toyos with chrome alloys. Yeah.
Yep.
Toys are so easy to come by too. Well, they used to be, I guess. I mean,
They're drying up. I think eventually, similar to what happened with the Ford 9, it's just going to be that the aftermarket is what keeps the Toyota axles alive.
yeah,
Because
you can
like,
get full housings pretty cheap, right?
yeah, they're like $1,600, which
That ain't
for
bad.
a welded housing isn't bad. And then there's companies that sell the knuckles. Similar to like Ruffstuff, when the 9s go on sale, sometimes you can get the builder 9s for like $1,000 an axle housing. Which, I mean, that's not great, but if you're talking about a custom fucking axle at the same fucking time, that's not terrible either.
No.
You know, and like I was pondering for the future, one of the things I was talking about with Justin was like where we want to go next. And there's a guy that is local who does a lot of pre-bent cages for JLs and whatnot, but he also is moving into doing pre-bent kits for buggies. And so we came up on the topic of that, and I was thinking about doing like a custom 9 front and a 14 bolt in the rear, and I don't know about a 9 in the front, but 14 bolt in the rear setup for steering would be kind of cool, and like 300 horsepower. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty sweet to me.
Wow, that was a total diversion.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, tying that back into the Samurai versus Toyota axles. Eventually the Toyota axles, it'll be a reasonably priced thing to just build a custom one-off Toyota axle for whatever project you want to do. I think at this point, if you're going to build an F-Toy buggy, I'm really sorry. I think it's Chris is the guy's name that showed up at the Web Wheelers Ball with the Samurai buggy. He's a member of Rockaholics.
I have no idea.
Yeah, Chris Schuneman.
Okay, yeah, his setup is super cool. He's got a Toyota front custom housing from S&S with 60 outers on it.
What the fuck?
That's sick.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, he's got 05 plus 60 outers on that thing. That thing gets down.
No,
And it's
yeah,
still
it
fairly
does.
light. Like, he walked up that Trail 5 hill climb.
Oh,
Which-
that guy. Yeah. Yeah, he does. You're right. My apologies.
He which side are you talking about?
The
The far side, the right side.
Oh, he walked that? I didn't see that. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I know Miguel's buggy walked it, which I thought was odd. Shouldn't have made it. We've already talked about this. We don't need to talk about it again, but
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, that super light samurai buggy on Toyota hybrids is fucking cool.
yeah. No, those are
that's the guy with Gordy, right?
yes,
I think he's on 37 traps.
he is.
Okay,
He is. Yep.
sorry.
Speaking of 37 traps, I still have those stickies, and I don't know what to do with them. I don't know if I sit on them
Cody.
or if I
Leave me
if I-
alone.
No, I'm not. You've been able to find the money to afford to upgrade your computer. I'm sure that you can upgrade your
Yeah, but
private
his fucking
axle.
axles can't handle those.
I
wouldn't
can make it
trust-
happen. All right.
I'm sure you could, but I
No,
would
that'd
want
be
you
at the
to.
all driver mod, dude. As long as I don't bind it up too bad and I'm smart with it, I could
Oh
survive.
yeah,
on
but as
it.
soon as you bind it up, you're like it just bing pop. out of
Yeah,
it.
but that's what 30 shafts are for.
I guess. I mean, you could put
I don't wanna
chromos.
see-
You could put chromos on it and run a right. Bleep and Jeep did that with his Dana 44 in the front of that Scorpion crawler for the longest time.
The one that ended up with Pats on it.
Yeah, but before that, he had like
he had
tires that
40
actually grabbed.
traps.
He had sticky 40s on it. I
Yeah.
think they were stickies. And like,
Uh,
yes, he
but
was
he had
like destroying.
RCVs.
Yeah, he had RCVs and he was destroying unit bearings, but it was working.
I mean,
for-
it would be a cool way to get them broken in for a buggy down the road.
I mean, they're already
Hint.
broken in, right? Because these are the ones I got from Crazy K's, and at that time I thought they would work for me as a sticky with the 40s, but I honestly can't go. I can't go down in tire size. I literally can't. Like the extra clearance that I get from the 40 lets my rig do so much more than I was expecting. Like I knew it was going to be an improvement, but I didn't realize it was going to be this much of an improvement. So I'd rather just to give someone who actually can use a 37 on a smaller buggy the tires,
Yeah.
like for what I paid for them. I paid 2 for them. Like I just need to find somebody who wants them.
A reasonable price too when you consider that right now a new set of 37
It's
Trek
5 too.
stickies
Like
is-
it's that and a spare, and they're all in really good shape, and one's brand new. I really like. I bought them because I thought I was going to be able to use them. Like I said.
So Grant, see, the problem here is that you are telling your possible clientele how much you paid. You can't do that.
Well, that's what they're
because-
going to pay. Otherwise, they're not getting them. That's fine.
No, you got to make them pay more, Graham.
Why would I do that? No, I'm not here to skimp
Because-
anyone.
No, you're
I'm
not
literally going to
skimping
give
them. You're
Luke fucking
making-
shafts for
You
beer.
had to
Like
drive you had to drive to fucking Roush to
That's
get him, my boy.
my loss is your gain. I don't care about that. That was fun. I worked from the road. I was getting paid anyways.
But to be fair, yes, Luke, you are right. I have thought about it, but the answer is no. I don't need them, so I'm not going to.
Oh, I'm just giving you shit. Also, the cheapest that I can find them at the moment in a competition tire is $8.19. So that's a fucking steal for 5 of them.
Yeah, and they've got 1 year on them. I could take pictures if anybody's interested.
One season.
1 season, yeah, I guess.
That
I guess.
matters.
Yeah, no, they're not that for a sticky. They're not worn in.
Well,
But yeah, enough of me advertising my fucking tires. What else? What else have we missed? What have we not talked about? There's been more going on this week.
You didn't talk about fall crawl too much.
Well, my Jeep kind of just died at fall crawl. Like, Sean won his rooftop tent.
Oh my god! Of course,
I thought he was gonna have he might have had a meltdown if he didn't win that thing.
How much did he put into it? Let's be honest.
He probably put 300 down on the whole raffle. And I don't know how much into the actual tent, but it was quite a bit. Like, there's a video of me that I took of him putting just ticket after ticket after ticket into this tent. He wanted this tent.
That's a gambling addiction. I think. I don't think that's healthy.
Those raffles at the fall crawl and really any of the events that they do, like, if you want it, just you gotta spend a little bit of money, but you can usually get it. It's always the same people. Sean won a shitload of stuff last year too. I don't know why.
He throws $600 at $800 worth of shit.
It's for a good cause. That's what it's for. But
it's not even a tax write-off. I'm a
little
fucking raffle.
I'm a little upset that every time we go to fall crawl, it's just me and Sean, and nobody else shows. Like, you don't have to bring a ring, a rig.
A ring. I mean, I can propose.
Yeah, you want to bring a rig? Yeah. You don't have to bring a rig. I was hoping that maybe I could get Sean shit done, but coming back and looking at it and being like, yeah, I need to do a lot more to this. Knew it wasn't gonna happen. But he still came. He just came with the truck and he just hung out and rode with people for the day, I think. And like, just get a ticket. Come on, let's have the club do more club things here.
Nah, I'm out. Peace.
Have you even been to the fall crawl or to Field and Forest?
No.
Exactly. Yeah, you need to fucking go.
Shitbox too small.
Well, Humble Pie is next week or this weekend.
This weekend, yeah.
That's this weekend. I can't make it.
I can't either. It's Kaylin's birthday weekend.
Oh my god. We'll take her to Humble Pie. It'll be a great birthday.
No. You guys want to hear what I got her though? You want to hear this bullshit? Sure. I know it's not fucking podcast related, but it's pretty fucked up. So a few weeks back, she told me about this stupid thing called the Dyson hair wrap. Or air wrap, pardon me, air wrap. Take a wild guess how much you think this thing is.
$300.
$300.
More. Take another guess. More.
600.
More.
700.
750 fucking
What the fuck is this thing? Now I gotta look this up.
I don't. Yeah. Look
why
this
the
up.
fuck? So, what is a Dyson?
Yes, trust me, it's ridiculous. But she hasn't stopped talking about it, and I was like, you know what? I saved some money. I had some extra money saved up because I've also been considering buying a Peloton. I don't know why. I'm fat. I probably shouldn't ride a stationary bike anyways, but fuck it. I figured it might be fun. So I had like $600 in there. So I was like, maybe it'll make her happy. Well, on her I bought it before her birthday. And this bitch on her birthday decides to start this massive argument. And obviously I shouldn't call her this bitch because that's not very fair. But she starts this massive argument and I'm just sitting there like, I should return this fucking thing. It's like, this is a lot of Jeep parts. So did you?
This does not look like the fenders that she needs. How much are those fenders? $700?
Like $600, yeah.
Well, that would have been the cheaper option.
Yeah, but like also, so again, I'm my type of like my perfect gift, like for me, is something that I want that I'm not gonna buy myself. Because like if I need something, I'm gonna buy it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. So I kind of do the same thing when I buy people gifts. And for her, I figure for her, she's gonna buy a MacBook if she needs a MacBook. She's gonna buy her fenders because she needs them to put her over fenders on. So I figured, hey, I'll get this. But yeah, almost returned that shit because she started being rude on her birthday. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, we got the podcast about fucking Ruffstuff beers and Dyson air wraps.
Nah, but you want to know the best thing? I found it on Newegg for $500.
There you go. Art of the deal right there.
Because I remember one time, a long time ago, I was on Newegg, and which, by the way, for anybody who's listening who doesn't know what Newegg is, it's a computer part website, I guess. It's kind of like
it's like Amazon for fucking nerds.
Oh, dude, it's Amazon for nerds on crack, though. In reality, either way, I remember seeing a Dyson vacuum cleaner on there, and I'm like, on fucking Newegg, like what?
Wait, okay, these are the fucking dudes who make vacuum cleaners, and now they're making hair
and
curlers.
fans. Yeah,
What
and
the
fans,
fuck?
like the fanless fans. Remember those? Or not fanless? Oh my fucking god. The bladeless fans. Yeah, the bladeless fans. God, that's a tongue twister. Yeah, the same guys. Now they make it's pretty much like a hair dryer, curler, straightener in one. And like every female that I know, which is not many because, you know, it is what it is, fat dude. Anyways, they've been talking about this stupid thing. So I figured, hey, I'll give it a go. And yeah, she doesn't know yet, but
Well, she
When
will.
this
She listens to the
episode comes
podcast,
out.
but she won't. So, or I guess you'll
Oh.
know. You'll know. You'll know
oh,
if she does.
actually, this will come out before she potentially would get it. So
Yeah, 'cause
fuck
it
if she
comes out
listens.
tomorrow.
You're welcome, Caitlin. In my head, I'm like,
That's
yeah,
funny.
we're a week out. We're good.
No, we're not. It comes out tomorrow, but she won't listen.
Well,
we're good. Unless she does,
This
and then she
would be a good
deserves to
test
know.
to see if she does.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
This would be a good test to see if she does listen.
She don't listen. I know that. She don't care. She hears my voice enough. She doesn't need to hear it over and over again. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that because I thought it was a bit ridiculous that that product is even that much money.
Oh, yeah. That looks. It's a vacuum cleaner. It probably costs like $100.
It actually does suck your hair up, so it is kind of a vacuum cleaner.
It literally. It's an air wrap. It's literally in the name. It's a
Yeah,
vacuum cleaner for your hair.
Yep.
Except it makes it curly somehow. I don't fucking. We're done.
I
here.
don't know.
This is not related at all.
Hey, you gotta make sure you look on point when you're getting all them fancy dancy Instagram pics.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably use a Dyson Airwrap. I need a fucking haircut.
Bro, can we talk about the hair tie that you had? I swear
Yes.
to God, Graham had a more committed relationship with a fucking hair tie than another female in his entire life.
That hair tie lasted from Tennessee up until Roush. I literally, and it would have kept going too. I just got a new one, so now we're good. I used the same fucking hair tie to keep my hair in the ponytail at Roush or at Tennessee, and I continued to use that the entire time, like every fucking day, up until Roush. That's like a multiple month span, and I mean, most people aren't gonna understand how like brittle these fucking hair ties are. But they are not built to last.
Especially not Chris. He ain't even got hair.
I could send you a link, Graham, to a hair tie that would hold up pretty well.
No, I don't really. I need to just go get my fucking hair cut. I'm just a
Yeah,
little
I went
shit.
through those trials and tribulations.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to not enable myself to continue keeping it going, but it is kind of fun, but it's getting kind of gross.
That is the Band-Aid. At some point, you're gonna have to just rip the Band-Aid off.
100% is because it hides it, right? If you take a picture of me from the front, like, and you don't know I have a ponytail, it just looks like I'm a normal person. But yeah, it needs to go. Anyways, or I can use the Dyson Airwrap and just look fucking.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Instead of the 3080, just get a Dyson Airwrap.
Yeah, Dyson Airwrap. Okay, back to actual fucking off-road related things. I was sitting at my desk today, working, and I was looking on, I don't know, it wasn't no, it was Instagram, but it was an ad. It wasn't the actual guy's page. But there was a twin traction beam Wagoneer, and it got me thinking.
Okay.
Do you know what TGB
Yes.
is? Okay.
Yeah, and
I was
concerned.
like, what if I did a twin traction beam on the J20? I'm never gonna wheel it. It'd be cool to do something different. And nobody wants those things, and I already know what Dana 50s do when they don't bend in half on purpose. So why not try one that bends in half on purpose?
I don't like where this is going, Graham.
I'm just looking for like dumb things to try, and that seems like a dumb thing to try. I don't know.
Brother
Yes.
in Christ, you have a Jeep that needs a 4-link. Pay attention to that first.
I've already built a 4-link. I did it on Sean's. It was fucking easy. We just
No,
put the
you
legs
didn't
in.
get-
Make it
you
happen
didn't
under
get-
yours.
Yeah, I do need to do one of mine, but I'm not doing that yet. I have to spend $300 on another fucking leaf spring. I gotta put the brackets in. Those leaf springs are staying in for at least another fucking year, my boy.
I hate it here.
Comrade, this is the wrong answer.
I have too many fucking projects, and I'm only one person. And I only have so much money. So I don't know. It piqued my interest. It'll probably go no further than like a what if, but if I find one for cheap, I'll fucking buy it, and it'll sit in my storage unit, and eventually it might do something.
I hate this idea.
Storage units are horrible, by the way. If you need more storage and you're thinking about getting a storage unit, don't do it, because you will immediately fill it up with junk, and then they'll raise the rent price on you, and you'll be paying more money for all your junk, and it will never go into any of your projects, and it's really sad.
I still can't get past a traction beam. That's all. I didn't even hear what you said because it's just so stupid.
What do you mean? They're fucking cool.
Because they're
no.
Cool. Yes. No.
There's
a reason Ford doesn't make them anymore. Let's be honest.
Oh no, 100%.
Okay?
But they're fucking cool. Like, don't get me wrong, they're stupid, but they're cool because it's weird. It's like that fucking like dual differential Ford wagon thing they made. Like, stupid, yes, way over engineered, but kind of fucking cool, and you never see that shit. I don't know.
I think twin traction beam setups are fucking awesome and super fucking cool. Like,
I just think it would be something different,
fucking
like something
cool.
like I don't know. I've
Hang
built...
on, let me fucking finish.
Okay, sorry.
But if you are financially scared of doing the project of the 4-link,
I'm not scared. I just don't have enough money and bandwidth to do all the projects at once, Luke.
So then,
and the J20 has been getting neglected. I literally had to take the fucking idler because it's got a Holly system on it, Holly EFI on it. I had to unplug the IAC because the thing's running so poorly. The IAC is just sitting wide fucking open and it's stalling out. So my solution was to just unplug the IAC so it can't do that anymore, so it runs okay. Like, it needs some fucking TLC.
Oh my god, my brain. My brain.
And I still have the transmission.
Stop doing project, Graham.
I can't. I have too many of them, and it's fine. I love them. But I still need
Graham,
to get to
you need
the manual
to just
swap
get
on that thing.
I think you need to just start doing drugs. I think it'll be cheaper, buddy. I think it'll be less stressful and fucking cheaper.
It really would be, but there's no fun in that. It's way more fun having a bunch
sounds
of
like
projects
you're already throwing your life away.
Oh god.
But yeah, I think twin traction beam will have to happen after the manual swap. And I don't know if I do the LS swap or a Cummins swap on that thing first too, right? We got options, baby.
I fucking hate it here. Mom, can you come pick me up?
we got projects lined up for years. We got a 5-year plan, but like not in a productive way. Like,
we have a 5-year plan of lighting $1 bills on fire.
Stay tuned.
To go further.
Most people's 5-year plans include buying a house or doing
saving
something
money.
productive. My 5-year plan, we're determining whether we do an LS or a Cummins swap in a fucking J20 with a twin traction beam.
Terrible.
Please
Oh,
hear me.
I
And if I do the manual swap before I do the motor swap, I need to change all the shit for the transmission swap anyways. So I might as well hold off on that. I feel like Colin, but I'm like almost a more productive Colin because sometimes my projects actually come to fruition. Sorry, Colin, but yeah, I don't know. It's fun. The J20 is gonna be super cool as soon as I have time to work on it.
Yeah, my house is gonna be really cool too when I buy it. 5 years, guys, though, don't worry. Come back in 5 years.
You keep buying fucking Dyson Air apps every other fucking year.
No, this was a one-time thing, but I do think it's hysterical because I was like, "Hey, don't listen this Thursday." I did tell them all, like, I told everybody what I got you. She's like, "Oh, so it is Jeep related." So, haha, beach, it ain't.
Oh, you already told her?
I told her don't listen. Yeah, because I was like, I really don't want to ruin it. Like,
And
I've been
so
thinking
she
about getting
thinks
like a
it's Jeep
fake.
related, so she doesn't even know. Wow,
Mhm.
you're so
Dude,
cute.
do you have any? Hold on a second. Do you have any big Jeep part boxes? Oh, we could.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think if I have it.
Oh,
Then I'll grab it.
I'll have something at the at my house, or a parent's house in a little bit. I'll let you know if it's worthwhile. It should be a Barnes box, probably.
Perfect. Dude, I think if I could put it in that, because I was thinking like, I'll just get like a fake Louis bag, like a Louis Vuitton bag, put it in there so she thinks it's like a purse or something. Then she opens it up, it's like, whoa. Or I could go to like the Apple store. Anyways, we don't have to keep talking about this. Now I'm just spitballing. Sorry, guys.
I just want to know, Cody, what's gonna happen if she got herself one?
No, okay. I planned this whole thing out. I called her parents. I was like, hey, mind you, I feel like every time her dad gets a call from me, and I'm like, hey, got a question. He's always like, oh, fuck, is this dumbass going to ask to marry my daughter? Like, is this what I have to deal with today? But no, it wasn't that. Thank God. Dodge the bullet there, boys.
Dyson Airwrap, we're good.
Just a quarter of a cost of a nice ring, but no big deal. Anyways, so I called him, was like, hey, I'm getting your daughter this. By chance, you're not buying this for her too, right? Like, obviously, probably not. Like, nobody's buying somebody that expensive of an item. Like, let's
For
just
the
be
birthday,
honest.
no.
No,
Well,
no, exactly.
That's why I said that she got it.
No, I told her that it was the dumbest thing in the fucking world and that she should never buy one. So yeah, I gaslit her into not buy one. Great job, Cody. You did good.
You covered all the bases, Cody. I'm proud.
Oh, dude, I went full bore, and hopefully she likes. Otherwise, I'm gonna be sad. You know. But yeah, I just figured I'd share that.
Well,
Anyway.
on that note, I think we've covered quite the.
Oh yeah, it's been honestly, I don't know how I feel about this episode, but it's been productive.
Oh, it's been something, all right.
Yeah, it's a smorgasbord of random diversions that definitely has a side of autism.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not the only
Welcome.
autistic
You're
one
either
here.
you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. I don't know.
And if they hate it, get fucking lost, boys, because we ain't stopping. This train keeps fucking rolling,
But
all
usually
right?
it's a better train than this one. This is like the dilapidated one that only gets dragged out on holidays.
Nah, this
but,
is like the Polar Express and Richie's the nerdy kid. I don't know. I gotta take my fucking Adderall. I don't know what's going on.
You know, Cody, I've been called a lot of things in my life.
It can't be the
I've
Polar.
been called nerdy.
It can't
No,
be the
this is
Polar
the
Express because when you say Polar Express, the only thing I think of is those memes of the train fucking sliding across the ice, like
That's
Tokyo Drift. Like that's a cool fucking train. You gotta pick something stupid or like less cool. I don't know.
The dank engine. I don't know. What do you want?
I
I,
mean-
don't know. Trains, boys.
It's almost October, so it's like the haunted
don't remind
hayride
me.
or something like that. You know,
No.
we're just sliding into the abyss of stupidity at this point. So
Come to Salem, Massachusetts, where we have traffic and
I've been there, done that. Did that last year.
purple-haired people. You didn't go to Salem during Halloween.
Yeah,
I
he
did.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
What?
Yeah.
I did.
Remember before Harlan, he literally.
Oh
Salem in the
shit,
center
he
of-
did. That
Yeah.
was no. You were not in Salem. It was fine. But yeah.
We most definitely drove through Salem.
Oh, we
Colin,
did.
like-
Yeah. Come to Salem. We have buggies that drive down the center of the town on a trailer, and other things. It's not a good time.
It
during the
was
day.
not a fun time.
We have homeless people and trash and it's
Sounds like LA. I'm there. I wonder if any of them have.
yeah, but they're like goth homeless people. It's kind of cool. Like,
Oh, so they have daddy issues and they're homeless? I'm in. Sign me up, bro. That's my kind of place.
yeah.
The back of my Chevy will look sick to a goth
Nothing better
homeless
than
chick.
October. We got the tourists, all the fucking weirdos and traffic. And that's what I get to look forward to. Horrible
Well,
holiday.
you work from home, so you can't complain too much.
I can when I have to drive to the shop. My commute is just not my commute. Remember, I actually have to go and move the MG.
You guys still have the MG? What?
No. The MG just comes in for random work here and there.
Oh. I was like, how the hell?
And we were trying to wrap this
there?
episode up. You thought this was over? No, we're gonna keep going.
Surprise.
No. I gotta go move it because the guy dropped it off tonight, and Jacob's didn't want to come down, understandably. So I was like, yeah, I'll go move it later. So I gotta go run down and move it. So yeah, but it gets harder when everybody goes to Salem for
Okay.
the witches. But yeah,
So stay away from the witches. Make sure that
if you're looking for a gift for your girlfriend, probably not the Dyson Airwrap unless you want to spend
No.
$500.
But let me tell you, I'll fill you guys in on the nasty gluck. I get what she accepts the gift.
Nobody
So-
wants to fucking know about that, Cody.
That's all I'm thinking.
Remember to
about.
make your 5-year plan for your your life. Make sure it's productive, and I don't know.
I don't know why I associate with any of you people at this point. Have a good
we're a
night.
great influence by.
Keep rolling. All right, so now it's the after hour episode, and unless one of you guys have to go, now we're talking about whatever the fuck we want. So, fill me in on the real shit. Nothing, nothing Jeep related. I want to hear what's going on real life with you, Luke, with you, Richie. Give me some fucking info. What's going on, boys?
how
My
far
child
into it do you want
loves
to
to
go?
play naked.
Go into it. I mean, I want to see if people will actually listen to this portion because we always give each other shit for going into the weeds. But no. I think people like the weeds. I think if we had a weed whacker and we were blowing through
All
all the
right,
weeds
give me a
all the
minute. I'm
time,
gonna go get my fucking food. You guys, I've already talked about my shit. My 5-year plan's already known.
so
And
what's
also-
going on?
You're gonna have to give me a minute as well, because I have to piss. I was trying to
All
hold it
right.
at the end of the episode, but apparently we're going long.
Yeah, we're definitely going longer. I mean, why not? I wanna have just a conversation with the old boys. So Richie, what's new, buddy? Anything new? How's the parents? How's the kid? Anything new with the kid?
He's recently discovered that his danaline is permanently attached to him, and
Okay.
he's outside and he's naked. He will start in trying to throw sand at it.
At it?
At it.
What? Dude, children are weird, man.
And the fact that he is an expert climber.
Really?
Yeah, he'll climb to the top of a table in like 0.1 seconds.
Jesus. So yeah, you're gonna have a lot of hospital visits when he gets older because there's gonna be a lot of trees for him to climb.
Nah, we're not bitches.
That's funny. No, that's really cool though. I mean, I haven't really spoken to you guys in a while, so that's why I figured it'd be fun to check up. So when you went down to your parent in-laws, or the in-laws, I guess you could say for short, what did you end up doing for work when you were down there?
What do you mean?
Did you say that you did some work for them around the house?
Oh yeah, no, just setting up everything for the pig roast and whatnot, and then helping out with some small bits of chores, feeding the animals or stacking up some wood, or whatever.
So I've never been to a pig roast. How the fuck do you season a pig? Like, because obviously, I don't know, like with different cuts of meats, I'll season it differently. Like with a full pig, how the fuck do you season that whole thing?
So what we do with the pig is after it is killed and gutted,
What the
dip it-
fuck am I walking into?
I'm asking how you season a pig, dude. I've never been to a pig cookout, so I don't know how that shit works.
We then dip the pig using the tractor into a tank of hot water because it loosens up the skin and whatnot. And we then spend like 45 minutes shaving the pig. And then we take a flaying knife and stab a fuck ton of holes.
Are we
into the
talking
pig.
Brazilian or
And-
traditional?
What?
Brazilian pig stabbing? I don't know. I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah, I messed that up. It's fun. I was thinking shaving, but that's waxing.
We stab a bunch of holes into it and we stick little cloves of garlic in to the
Yeah.
skin, and then we carry the thing down to the pit cooker, which is just a old oil tank that was modified into a grill, and
Yeah.
then I don't know, get some wood chips smoking underneath it, and that's really it.
I've never been to one, so I've obviously I've had ham before, but I've never had.
You never been to a pig roast?
No, dude. I grew up in Springfield, man. Like,
What are you talking about?
you mean?
My buddy in Marblehead put a pig on a fucking stick and roasted over a campfire in
Okay,
Marblehead.
Lord of the Flies. Jesus Christ, why are we putting pig heads on sticks?
It was cool as fuck. He's like big into cooking.
So I've helped my in-laws with the last like 6 or 7 pig roasts. I don't remember how long I've been together with my wife. Anyways,
You should.
I don't eat pig.
So when you go to the pig roast, you don't eat the pig?
Nope.
It's hilarious. He will literally sit there and slave away helping get the pig prepared for like a full day to not eat it.
Yeah.
What?
I
That
don't
makes
I've
no
seen it with
sense.
my own eyes.
I fucking
You should
hate the
cook a-
taste of
Just cook
everything
a chicken on a
pork.
stick or something. Or a cow. That'd be cooler, actually. Cook a cow.
Yeah, I'm there for
You
that.
need a big ass fucking stick for that.
Yeah, you would.
We can find a stick. I mean, that's actually no. It has to be like a
120
metal
well dom. I think you got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Except for then,
Luke.
yeah, worry about the oils and like, what if I don't know. Anyways, go ahead. You don't eat the pig?
No, not at all.
Why?
I just don't like pork.
So, like, you're telling me you're not a shake and bake kind of a guy with a pork chop?
Nope.
Dude, you're ridiculous. Dude, my favorite thing is a shake. Like, my favorite meal, like if I were to die today and I wanted a last meal, shake and bake pork chop, corn, mashed potatoes, done. You could then put me over the fire and I'd be stoked.
No, it's
To be honest, not the biggest pork guy either. I
No,
like
Oh,
Is there like a mental reason for that? Like, did you read that thing when you were a kid when it was like, yeah, pork is the most similar meat to human meat? Or is that just like, is that out the window? Is that just like cherry on top?
no, it just pork just tastes nasty to me.
Well, yeah, you would be a bad cannibal, I guess.
Oh no,
you know,
I will eat pork if I am hungry and that's all that there is to eat.
Okay, so you should be a good cannibal.
Oh, I'd be a fucking great cannibal.
you know what's fucked up? One of my coworkers randomly asked me the other day. He just looks over. We're in the truck. We're driving to do something. He just looks over. He goes, "Would you commit cannibalism?" And I'm like, "Excuse me." I'm like, "What the fuck kind of a question is that?" Mind you, he's a new guy. He's only had like 3 weeks under his belt. He's
Of
asking
course
me
it's
questions
a
like
new guy.
this. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, I mean, yeah, probably if I was starving and like that's all I had, but I feel like it'd be like last resort kind of a thing. I was like, but I'm pretty resourceful. I feel like I could hunt before I'd be just eating my friends. And he was like, okay, just curious. What? Like, what
No,
the
see,
fuck?
I think I wouldn't have a problem eating someone.
Okay.
But you got a problem
I,
eating
I
pig.
think I'd be pretty comfortable doing that.
There's no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't be comfortable because you don't like pig, and apparently human tastes like pork. This is an allegedly sort of thing. I don't know for sure.
No. I'm saying the idea of eating a person, I'm okay with.
Morally, he's totally cool with it, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
But the taste,
Totally cool.
no, game changer. That's a deal breaker right there.
yeah.
If they're shake and baked, I'd probably eat them too.
I'm gonna be honest here. I'm lost on the entire conversation. So
Would
I'm
you
just
eat a
gonna-
human? Yes or no? That's the real question.
Circumstances.
Yes. Circumstances, you're in whiteout conditions. You can't go out very far to hunt food because you're gonna freeze your ass to death, and the only thing you got left is like dead Timmy, who just oh boy had a heart attack because he was so nervous, and now he's dead.
mean, I don't think that like I could. There's some I hold some weird superstitious views, and yeah, no, I just not.
Do you think you're gonna be like the pigs when they have human meat, where all of a sudden now you're just gonna start biting other humans once you get the taste?
No, not so much that, but just not to sound too crazy, but I think that deeds will be judged, and I don't think that that's a great deed that I want to be judged
Remember,
for.
he is in God's country, Cody.
Oh, I forgot he can't drink or smoke or like
Oh,
have
no, that
sex
shit's
standing up because
fine.
I think that he's dancing or something.
No, but you know how they are down there. They're going up.
Oh yeah.
We're in New England. We don't go anywhere. We just go into the ground. But down there,
What if you were to soak the human meat in holy water beforehand? So like it's totally like, Jesus is now cool with it.
Even like talking about religious, I'm not really that religious.
I know you
just
aren't.
think
I was just poking fun at the fact that you live in Tennessee, in the Bible Belt. But
I also like on a very, very subliminal level, don't know if the cryptid shit is like absolute horseshit. So, that shit freaks me out too. Like you ain't catching me saying when to go in the woods.
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
That
I
is-
sure fuck won't be doing none of that shit.
okay,
I think
but you're
Wendigos are
gonna have to fill me in.
easy.
So, like, I think when you have an extreme like urge of hunger and then you give into it by eating human meat, that you never then can like fill that hunger. I think it is. You'd have to. I don't know the exact thing. Then you turn into like a Wendigo, which is
Yep.
like then, like a mirrored version of yourself. So like you're kind of you, but then there's like different things that are wrong. But now you just need to eat and like fill that like
Every time you eat, you become more emaciated.
yeah.
And every meal has to be larger and you'll still become emaciated. It's like a Native American legend and shit, and I don't know. I don't actually like fully believe it, but I'm
I
not
do.
saying when to go in the woods.
But do they show up if you say it in the woods or some shit?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like if you're in native country in Texas, you don't say skinwalker.
The same idea. Skinwalker, Wendigo. I think that's
Yeah,
the
it's a
thing,
similar idea. I don't know why, but like you'll just get
Now
that
I
really
want to say it in the
weird-
woods.
right?
You get a
When-
weird, creepy feeling when the whole group says not to say something like that in the woods
And you say
or
it.
in the. I don't know. I haven't said it like in the woods. I'm saying it right now, sitting in town.
Yeah.
You're in the woods. There's woods behind you.
Technically, you're right, but uh, I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things where
get it,
there's
yeah.
too much weird shit, and like there is a thing called Wendigo sickness, which is an actual medical health condition that comes from eating human flesh, where essentially you just develop like an extreme taste for it. It's incredibly prevalent in Africa, and if I remember correctly, a couple of the Donner Party survivors also had it. So it's just something that like I would try and do the best that I could to not be in that position. I don't know.
You don't want to be a Wendigo.
Yeah,
No, it's not
good
top
on
on the priority list. Not in the 5-year plan.
not in the 5-year plan. Um,
5 fucking year plan, god damn it.
you know. So, what have you guys been up to outside of here? I know Graham's just like had no social life, and you're playing Cyberdong, Cody.
Yep.
I might buy a mini truck.
Oh.
Yeah, one of those little Japanese mini trucks.
Like
Oh God.
What
The K
which one?
trucks.
Oh, those things.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Yeah, they keep on popping up near me like cheaper and cheaper, and I'm like really tempted to just buy one.
I think you should.
What's the cheapest they're going for?
Like $5,000.
No, I've found them all the way down to 4.
Wow, that's
not
to
bad.
think about that they had to come across the ocean too, and they're going for $4,000. That doesn't sound very good.
I've seen a massive influx of those things. Is that just because they recently were allowed?
No,
to be
they've been
imported?
over here for years.
Yeah, but I think in Massachusetts they just became legal.
Oh, were they not
Yeah,
legal before?
Yeah, I think it's like a 25-year thing. Because of safety, they have to be able to like they don't have to. No. I think it's emissions, so it's 15 years. It just has to be able to pass that. Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen them in New Hampshire a little bit, but like I literally saw one for sale on my way back from Field and Forest, but I haven't seen them otherwise.
They're these cool little trucks though, and a lot of them are 4-wheel drive with options for high and low. A lot of them are manual transmissions, and there's a shit ton of them that are that have dump bodies. So
They have bump boxes?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Why? Why would a K truck have a bump box?
So you could
dump box. What the fuck is a bump? What are you talking about?
Is that what he's saying? What? I can't hear him.
Like a dump truck.
Oh, I thought you said a bump box, like a drag racing bump box in a transmission.
I thought you said dump.
No, dump. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So a dump bed.
So,
that's rad.
I mean, you could be driving down the road in a mini 4-wheel drive dump truck that gets like 50 miles to the gallon.
That's pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. I mean, it can only hold maybe like a half a yard of dirt, but it's cool.
700.
Well, you wouldn't use it to like actually do anything.
That's
productive.
way less than a half yard, though. A half yard of dirt is 1,500 pounds.
It has a 750-pound payload for the bed and around 1,800-pound towing capacity.
So useless is what you're saying.
So you could essentially tow my axles.
Yeah,
Just
pretty
the
much.
axles with the tires.
That's pretty funny.
You know, a
And
Ford
like-
Ranger would probably have better towing capacity, right, Richie?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
but
know.
is that just
The
on
mini truck is
paper or is
cool.
that in reality? I mean, maybe right?
Also, you do realize that if you start going down that path, I will bullet you forever because the amount of money that you're going to spend on that stupid project could go into getting your Cherokee ready to get, wheel.
Yeah, but or you could just put 1 tons under the K truck and call it a day.
Oh my God! Please do not give him any ideas. For the love of Christ.
You know, I heard they do get pretty peppy when you swap in a Hayabusa motor into them, so...
I mean, that's great and all, but again, this is the same problem that I've had with trying to put a Hayabusa motor into a crawler. Find a transmission that can withstand 15,000 RPM and I'm in. Like, name one. I don't know any. I don't think it
AX15.
can survive 15,000 RPM.
I don't know. Somebody's got to figure it out.
That's fair. I'm game. But
Put
I
a
mean, I
blast
know
shield
that.
on it and call it a day.
Ew.
Christ almighty.
You ain't gonna learn if you don't try it, Cody, or look it up.
I guess
So
so.
if nobody's done it, there's a perfect opportunity.
Leave that to Trail Trash. They can have the YouTube content for that. I'm all set.
Put a Hayabusa, or yeah. What RPM does an AX15 blow up? No, they all run fucking automatics.
And yeah, I know I was teasing though, the sense of like that's YouTube content, not podcast content.
Oh, true. Yeah. We could talk about it after it blew up, though, if we were alive.
If I did have chunks of gears, like third gear in my forehead after I was done.
I don't know if that'd be YouTube approved, though.
Yeah, you
That'd
can
get
blur it out.
flagged.
It'll be fine.
That'd get flagged.
I'll just say I'm a professional. I'm a professional retard.
Hi, guys.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, no, that's the reason why. Oh, I thought he said, never mind. I thought he was referring to what I said, but nope, he was saying he actually had to go.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, that's the one reason why I haven't wanted or haven't been able to, because but then again, it's a 1.3 liter. Like if I'm trying to put a 1.3 liter into something, I might as well go with the Ego Boost, which is like a 1.8, And
They're
not
like,
eco.
I think all the way from 1.6. There's the Saturn version, which is the 1.9, and then they
That's
also go up
GM
to
though.
like the 2.2.
Saturn
But
would be GM. So I was thinking Ecotech and just said, not Ecotech. What's the fucking
sorry,
Chevy?
yeah,
Chevy shit.
EO or
Eotech?
yeah,
Something like that.
EO. No, not EOTech. EOTech's a rifle sight manufacturer.
Oh,
No, I know what you're talking about. The Ecotech.
yeah. But yeah, I feel like that. Like I could do something like that, but I don't know. That's a fucking mission and a half.
Yeah, man.
Well, I don't know. I think we covered a decent bit on the after hours. Thank you, anybody, for listening. Please do not say when to go in the woods around Luke. He'll shit his pants. If you're really hungry, you could eat Chris. He does have a little bit of extra meat for everybody. And on that note, have a good one.